I've been saving for Zakia in Bitcoin, I think for the last 3, 4 years. All my nieces,
Wow.
right? So when they turn 21, here's your keys. It's yours. Like your parents
Hmm.
can't stop this from being yours. Like it's yours. Earning in Bitcoin changes a lot of things in your mind. Like the way you see expenses, the way you see, excuse me, things like what do I want to do at the end of the year becomes I wonder what the price of Bitcoin would be at that point and how cheap my ticket will be to Hong Kong.
Keep 'em cold till I'm old. I don't plan to blow my load. Wallet so blue, if you know, you know. It's better than bonds, better than gold. Finna reap up what I sow. If it money can't keep up, it gets sold. How many times you been told DCA's the way to go? Higher highs, higher lows. Every year my network grows. Every day my network grows. Running relays, running nodes. Yeah. Dollar a day's a minimum. Stats, zap sats. Any fear I get, I'm flipping them.
Okin, welcome back again to Ask a Bitcoiner 21 Questions.
It's good to be back. Thank you for having me, Saida. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for your patience on this Saturday morning. We've been having 45 minutes of technical difficulties?
Yeah. The app's not liking us for some reason.
Yeah. I feel as though between YouTube and these most algorithms, most platforms, they seem
Mhm.
to be sort of suppressing Bitcoin content. If I consider all the video recommendations that I get,
Mhm.
and I want to say 95% of anything that I post online has to do with Bitcoin. I'm like,
Mhm.
why do these people think that I want to see this? I don't want to know wig secrets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the algorithms are pretty weird, especially YouTube's one and LinkedIn's one. Those are some
Mm.
weird algorithms. I don't know. LinkedIn is one of the worst apps I've ever used in my life. Like they need to just do better. But YouTube, yeah, YouTube just gives you very weird. Like I'm not a very religious person, but I've got a whole lot of religious stuff on my YouTube all of a sudden. And
Oh,
I'm like,
really?
is this a
I'm
sign?
kind of religious.
Like, what is
Yeah.
God trying to tell me? No, I'm spiritual, right?
Yeah.
I'm also a bit what's the word? Superstitious to a certain degree, but like I'm not really. I grew up religious, but I'm not actually like really religious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's weird that there's just like all this praise stuff on my YouTube, and I'm like, like who was using my YouTube?
Yeah. So, as you know, the podcast is reformatted, and I'm saying this more for the audience than for you. We're doing a long form interview. I can't wait to get your take as an artist on Puffy, how Bitcoin comes into this, and then an update on, sorry, Diddy. I still call him Puffy or Puff.
P
And then
Diddy, Diddy Puff,
P. Diddy do it? And
Diddy
then
that. Yeah.
and then an update on your projects like SovereignKey and Trezor Academy and Easy Sats and stuff. But for our viewers, when you watch this full interview, we're going to have a 12-word seed phrase distributed throughout. So you have to watch the whole thing. And if you're the first to recover the seed phrase, or to find the seed phrase and recover the wallet, 21,000 sats are yours. So
Hey,
yeah. I
and
think that's so
that's a good
dope, right?
prize. That's a good prize. Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
nice incentive. I like that.
that's well over 20 US dollars for watching a
Yeah,
podcast, and you can
yeah.
learn about Bitcoin at the same time.
That's like almost $300, I think, Namibian. And you can
Oh,
like
okay.
if I equated like you can get a steak for didn't I eat a steak yesterday for like a
You said
hundred and
Namibia has the best
ninety
meat. I
bucks?
remember that.
That's right. That's right. That's not even a question. Anybody that tells you different hasn't had Namibian beef yet. That's the whole problem there. You see, once they come through here, they all you can ask Joseph. Joseph was actually he was down here after the adopting Bitcoin conference in January. He flew to Namibia with me, right? We went to like Mossel Bay and everything together, and then we flew out together from George to Namibia, and he was here for like a week. Joseph bought so much biltong and droeworst that the women at the store gave him free drovers. I'm like, what the hell? That's not how this works.
What?
Yeah, he like bought a whole shitload to take home with him. Like that guy ate so much meat. Namibians thought he was Namibian. They were like, this guy's had like 2 kgs worth of meat today, bro. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So 300 Namibian dollars can get you steak.
Oh, definitely.
So
It can
people
also
of
it can get you a lot of
Namibia,
stuff.
watch, record the seed phrase, recover the
Correct.
wallet, and get yourself a steak and post a photo of you eating the steak
That would actually be
and
cool.
tag me.
So actually, it's a bit more. 20 US is 350 Namibian dollars. I can get
There you
you
go.
some good food. You can go on a date, maybe a cheap date, but a date, like a coffee date.
So, okay, if for people who didn't see your first appearance on the podcast, um, tell us, like, I don't want to go through a long intro because we'll get through
Mhm.
all of your projects. Okin is like super multi-talented, um, but you have songs on an album. You've got an album. You were at the Billboard Awards, I think. You guys won, like, you're like a big deal.
So yeah, we won a Namibian Annual Music Awards when they were still running them. In 2015, we won Best Music Video. It's Black Vulcanite is the group's name. It's a three-member group. It's myself, Mark Mushiva, and rest in peace to Ali that dude who passed
Yeah.
away January this year. Yeah, so we recorded and released two albums. The first one was Remember the Future, which literally is why I have the Remember the Future. You can't even see it. Wait, hold on. I have the Remember the Future tattoo right here. And
Yeah.
the second one is that one, Black Colonialist. But
Yeah.
don't worry about the reward for excellent teamwork at FNB. I used to work at a bank.
In
That's
a
how
bank.
assholey they can be. It's truly, I used to work at a bank in the higher purchase department.
Yeah.
So
A
yeah, we
man of
released
all
two albums.
trades.
They're both on Wavelake. You can get them. You should still be able to get them on Spotify. I think maybe. I think they should still be there, and maybe even Apple Music. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally dope. So as someone who's recorded an album, like you've seen the industry from the inside, and you're also a Bitcoiner, and you used to work for a bank, like you've got the perspective on this whole. So I say Diddy, but I think it's maybe the music industry as a whole, as
Hmm.
opposed to like the independent artists who just produce things on their own.
Yeah.
What did you think when actually I guess the allegations came out? And then I don't know if you followed the trial, but like some of the stuff that came out during the trial.
So I didn't follow the trial closely because I was like, he did it. Like I was like, Diddy did all of that. He did everything that if in my mind he did it all. I was like, there's no way, bro. That guy did it. Like, what are you talking about? I saw the video of him kicking Cassie and I was like, there we go. Everything else is just what they said it is now. Like,
Yeah.
but do I think he was the only one complicit? Nah, I don't. I think that there was the industry is weird. Like music industry in different countries is different, firstly. Um,
Yeah.
but it boils down to a power thing at the end of the day, right? You want something, you want fame, you want glory, you want money, whatever it is, and I am your access to that. So,
Yeah.
as being the gate that keeps you either in or out, that's where people start acting funny because they have power, right? And that power
Hmm.
struggle is so with Black Vulcanite, when we signed our first deal, it was very important to me that we kept our creative rights, right? So we didn't
Oh
sign away
wow.
our creative rights at all. And I think like I can't remember the deal now, but something like 70% of profits were ours, and like we had a good deal. Um, but then you start learning how the industry works and how recoupment works, and like, yeah, you have a deal, but like you're broke, you don't have
Yeah.
any money, and like you're using the money from work to like push into like be able to go tour. Like there was a time 2016, right? Mark and Ali are literally living in Cape Town for almost a month. Every week, I gotta work during the week. I gotta come back, work. Weekends, I go to South Africa to go so we can do music. Then I'm back here on
Wow.
Monday. I'm back at work, and then weekend I'm back in South Africa. I didn't fly. I drove. That's 1,448 kilometers one way. So like every time, yeah, it was crazy. Like, but that's what you do
The
it for, like
things
the
we
love
can
of.
do when we're young. Wow.
I'm never driving that distance anymore. That's life. Yeah, but I mean, like things like that, and you realize the power people hold in this industry is almost absolute. And a lot of people will do anything to get on a Rolling Stone magazine or, get an
Mhm.
award or, and then, yeah, so yeah, I think you did it. I think he did it. I think people know he did it. It's just how the arrest, how, like all the procedures of that I think people are messing around with. But man, come on. Like he like the Black Epstein at this point.
The Blepstein.
Ah, the Epstein is
The
wilding.
Blepstein. So, so this is my opinion that if you're a recording artist and you have your head on your shoulders and you start saving with Bitcoin, maybe
Yeah,
that mindset shift sort of seeps in and you're not necessarily looking to pursue fame, like to be on the cover of a magazine. It's really about your art and the cool places you can travel and the people you meet and interacting with your fans and stuff. Is that more or less accurate, or
yeah.
is there something special about music where it's about like being in the light and having people worship you?
So that depends on the artist. Like I know artists that literally hate being on stage. They hate being on stage. They don't want to
Yeah.
do it. They don't want to do interviews. They just want to create the music. Ali was like that. He didn't really enjoy like you'd think because people have stage presence, they like being on stage. There was a point in time there was a black vulcanite drink. It was the weirdest drink that we ever had. It was a double tequila and Red Bull. That was what we were drinking on stage, right? So it's like, yeah, it was not a good idea, but like that was the black vulcanite drink, and like Mark didn't even drink back then like that, but he was the one that came up with the drink because like he also just like it's a lot to be on stage and like all these
Yeah.
people just looking at you. I didn't have that problem because I've been on a lot of stages, like from when I was a kid, I was with host shows and stuff at school, so like
Yeah.
that was never a problem for me. But yeah, I think that people forget that most artists are introverts. Like a lot of them are introverts, right? And a lot of them are nerds. And like that's why for me the fall over or the push over from music to Bitcoin and understanding how Bitcoin can give you that freedom. I mean, I always tell people I was a broke artist in 2019, right? Then I started a podcast because I couldn't, and not broke from like, yeah, I had a job, like I had like Okin Trading Enterprises, I was making money from that. And I was making money off of voiceovers, but then COVID hit. Who needs
Yeah.
voiceovers during COVID? We can't go
Yep.
outside. So like all that money is drying up. There's no market research because nobody can go outside. So like that's
Yep.
dried up. So now I'm sitting at home. I got all this recording equipment from BV, and I'm like, well, let me just call people around the world that I know that are artists and let's just have conversations, right? First guy
Yeah.
was Aaron Stefanis, 1/6. I actually have to call him again. And we spoke for 3 hours, like just about everything, like Lil Nas X, or everything, all the music stuff and cultural things. And then, yeah, so for me, the thing was more like, I'm a broke artist. Cool. I got this podcast. What can I do? So I started trying to monetize it, and off of the monetizing, I realized, hey, this Bitcoin thing exists, and I can like get paid while people are listening to my podcast. Let's try it out, right? And that's how I became the first African podcaster to get that done, to get paid in Bitcoin. But at the same time, like the guy that got me into Bitcoin that was trying from 2012, I only got in
Yeah.
like 2020,
I
right? Like
love this
I
story.
only
Yeah.
started listening, but like becoming full himself, I actually threw 2 3 years ago. I threw a TPOC session, the Pursuit of Knowledge sessions, and he got on stage and he's like, "Yo, I've been a recording artist. I have gotten like people on my music that are internationally recognized, but I was not really making money off of my beats properly. Then I put my beats on Wavelake and I'm making thousands of Namibian dollars worth of Bitcoin while people are just listening to the beats. They can't even
Yeah.
download them, right? And that in itself shows you, wait, if you can, there's another guy, Lamek. We call him what's his name, Tura Boy, right? Lamek literally was like, oh, he attended one of the Treasure Academy sessions I threw. He went back home to the hood, created a studio, a music recording studio called
Sweet.
Bitcoin Studio, and he teaches people how to put their music on Wavelake, and he
Oh,
like
that's so
charges
good.
studio time in Bitcoin, right? Then he went and he made physical CDs. Nobody even has CD players. He sold
What's
50
that?
physical, you know what I'm saying? 50 physical CDs he sold through, through Wavelake. Literally, he
Yeah.
put them on Wavelake and people bought them. And I'm like, bro, people don't even
Wow.
have CD players, but they're buying it because they enjoy the quality and you're doing
Yep.
something novel. So like
Yep.
that goes beyond just number go up or understanding decentralization or no. This is use case that we're talking about
Yep.
now, right? How do you go from I'm broke, I have an idea to man, I'm glad I had that idea because now I'm paid.
Yep.
That's why-
And also, like, man, you're broke. That pushed you to have the idea. That pushed you to get paid in Bitcoin. What, 2019, 6 years ago? And today you're like,
yeah,
yeah,
2020.
that's 2020, five
yeah,
years ago.
yeah,
But
yeah.
still, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to have been paid in Bitcoin. And I can
Mhm.
say that when I look back, I'm like, without a doubt, like, if that's the first option, please pay me in
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
please pay me in
Because
Bitcoin, bro. Like I'll give you a
even if
discount
you
even.
exactly, even if you choose to get paid at a discount, like obviously you still need to manage your
yeah,
fiat expenses. You have to make sure that your cash flows are positive and whatever. But
correct.
if you can, like that's your treasury money, so to speak. In 5 years, it goes by so quickly. My daughter is like 5.5 now, and you're like, damn, like that was smart.
Yep, yep. I mean, like, I'm actually looking forward. So my eldest niece is now 15, right? Zakia's 15. I've been saving for Zakia in Bitcoin, I think, for the last 3, 4 years. All my nieces,
Wow.
right? So
Yeah.
when Zakia turns 18, I have to decide if it's 18 or 21. Probably 21. I'm gonna give her a Bitcoin, like a keys to her Bitcoin wallet that I've been saving all the Bitcoin in for these years. Right? Because like every time it's one of their birthdays, all of them get like $100 million worth of Bitcoin. It's not like a
Hmm.
lot of money, That's not even like not even 10 US, right? But each of them, there are four of them. So
Yeah,
that's
and it
four
adds
times a
up.
year I'm paying all of them. And then they just literally, so when they turn 21, here's your keys. It's yours. Like your parents
Hmm.
can't stop this from being yours. Like it's yours. And I always tell people, you're right. Like earning in Bitcoin changes a lot of things in your mind. Like the way you see expenses, the way you see, excuse me, things like what do I want to do at the end of the year becomes I wonder what the price of Bitcoin would be at that point and how cheap my ticket
Yeah.
will be to Hong Kong or like something like that, right? Because now you're not thinking about, oh, let me just go to the coast in my own country. You're like, bro, I can actually travel. I have Bitcoin, right? And then at the same time, it's a thing of like, okay, I still, as you said, I still have fiat expenses. So what I do personally is I only ever sell my Bitcoin to friends and family.
Oh,
It's like, oh,
smart.
you're interested in Bitcoin? Yeah, how much do you want? I'll sell some to you. So now I can pay my fiat expenses off of selling to family and friends monthly. So
I
they
mean,
can stack. I save a portion, of course. I don't sell everything. And then
yeah.
what I do sell, that goes to people that are like, they want to know, they're on their own journey as they accumulate. And I'm like, okay, now you know enough. Go and buy from somewhere else. I got to go help these other people because I also only get paid so much per month in Bitcoin. So, you
Yeah.
know, but it
That's pretty
also
dope.
allows freedom. It's like true
Yeah.
freedom getting paid in Bitcoin. I literally work 2 days out of a week for other people. 2 days. That's it. Maybe 40 hours a month,
Hmm.
right? But I get paid enough from that to be able to do everything that I'm doing. Now, could
Yeah.
I give up more of my time for more work? Of course, right? Like I could probably work for like 3 different companies. But again, I have the freedom to be like, hey, mom, you want to go for breakfast? Let's go. Like, hey,
Yeah.
sis, you want me to go buy you a steak? Let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get to go see my nieces play football, and because I don't have a boss, bro.
Hi, everyone. It's Saida, host of Ask a Bitcoiner 21 Questions. To my listeners based in Canada and the US, if you're looking for a seamless way to stack sats, i.e., save money in Bitcoin, check out the Bitcoin Well. And you're probably thinking, Sai, you moved to Switzerland a long time ago. How do you know the service is good? Well, I asked my father, the man who famously told me there's nothing wrong with being frugal, to test out their service, and everything checks out. He visited one of the ATMs in Scarborough. It was very intuitive, very easy to use, and the fees were not too high. So if my dad says it's okay, it's okay. Remember to use referral code AAB21Q when you stack sats with the Bitcoin Well. And please, 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 let me know how your experience is. Give me all of the details. And if you'd ever like to be on Ask a Bitcoiner 21 Questions to talk about your experience with the Bitcoin Well or just your experience with Bitcoin in general, I would be more than happy to host you. It's pretty powerful. It's sorry. Sorry about that. With this podcast, that was a pretty nasty cough. I'm sorry. It's dry in here. Okay, little aside. I'm still trying to figure out, after 1 year, the best setup. And today I opted for having the window open, no ring light, because I find that it gets even drier with the light on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've got my bidax like just buzzing in the background. And I find that it's just like it's even drier and warmer. So it's like I cough. I need to be outside. I need to figure out how to like record outside. I digress. But so for this podcast, it's like I want it to be a self-contained project. And so the budget is like very, very basic. And I keep getting like emails like with those SEO emails, like your channel's really good, but I find that your SEO isn't optimized. Let me help you. I keep getting pitches to like, boost the channel. And I'm like, instead of spending money on that end of things, why don't I just use that budget and buy sats
Yeah.
and just give it to reward people, so instead of paying someone third party to do whatever they do to get who knows if they're real viewers, let me just pay the people who are actually watching and incentivize them to come back. They could learn something from the guest, but more importantly, especially if you're brand new, you're going to learn something basic about a Bitcoin wallet, so that's my approach. We'll see how it works out.
I like that. Look, incentives matter. People forget incentives matter. They really do matter.
Yeah, totally. So speaking of incentives and mattering, I clicked on the Trezor Academy Namibia on Instagram to see what the enrollment is like. And it was like, sorry, we can't enroll you. It's full kind of thing. It seems
Correct.
to be quite... Go ahead.
No, so I was saying, no, so that link is, we only have so many slots per session, right? So we cut it off at 30. So once 30 people have signed up, we cut it off. And then next one you'll have to, because again, like it's not a thing of like, let's get 1,000 people in here and then none of them pay attention. The 30 people that come through need to want to be there. They need to want to learn, because that's the only thing they need to pay is attention. It's free. It's free for them. We feed them even. We give you food, right? Like you don't just come there and leave empty, like, and you can win prizes and like, so it's an engagement thing. Like you're not just sitting there in a lecture. You're sitting and learning while also doing, because again, we tell you download a Bitcoin wallet, right? These are the ones like that we would say download for now and learn how it's happening. Like download Blue Wallet, create a wallet, write down the words, give the words to your friend, delete the wallet off of your phone, let your friend that's next to you put the wallet in. You see how that happens? This is why you don't give away your 12 words.
Exactly,
all of a sudden, they're like, I get it, bro. This is mine. Like, you're like this. So this isn't, when people are like, oh no, C phrases are so difficult. I'm like, bro, I teach this shit in the hood and everybody gets it. What are you talking about? Like, what? My 10-year-old niece understands the C phrase. Like, what are you talking about? It's difficult. It's not difficult. Your explaining of it might not, right? That's probably the problem. And that's where people get it. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, explain better.
I think, hold on. So I'm trying to think back to when I understood what the seed phrase was. I think for someone who's coming from like legacy sort of banking and stuff, it might be kind of trippy to say, wait, my wealth is attached to 12 words. You know what I mean? Like if someone gets 12 words, they get my entire wealth. I think that could be what it is. I don't know.
PIN code. PIN code. If I get your PIN code, I also have all your wealth, don't I? So if I have your bank card and your PIN code, boom. I got all your money. If I have your seed phrase, boom, I got all your money. Like,
You know
don't give
what
people
though?
access to your wealth.
It's funny you should say that as the counter argument, because there are more and more sort of withdrawal limits on accounts here.
No,
There's more and more of like how
yeah.
much you can pay in cash, how much you can transfer. And I think one of the arguments is actually, like if someone gets your card or whatever, they can't take everything. They can only take like a small percentage. Like we are limiting your capital for you and your safety and your
For your
security kind of
protection.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no. No, no. I'm not.
Yeah.
That's my money. Give me my money, bro. Like, no. That's just not a
Yeah.
good idea. Yeah, no, it's a, yeah, but thanks.
So Treasure Academy is really full. What is it like teaching?
Wow, I never thought that was what I was gonna be doing. Like, but yeah, I come from a family of like teachers. Like on my mom's side, there's like a lot of teachers. And I guess they were also like, "What the hell happened that you are now teaching Bitcoin?" And that's literally people ask me, "What do you do for a living?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess I'm a Bitcoin educator, and I speak on stages and stuff." But like, yeah, so it's it's amazing to get. Look, for me, I love seeing the aha moment. Like when
Yeah.
people are like, I get it. And then I'm like, yes, you get it. Let's go. And it's like, yeah. And no, it's like the first session is like, why Bitcoin? And normally what I used to do is like show them the videos. Now I don't even show them the videos. I'm like, yo, after class, leave your number. I'll send you the link for all of the videos. You can go watch it in your own time. Write down questions. When you come to the next session, which is a week later, come and ask your questions. But like when they see like the interactive stuff, because one of the I think it's in the second session where we're doing the how to use Bitcoin, right? And then there's like this YouTube video. It's a live. It's continuously 24/7 on. Excuse me. Of like it used to be chickens, now it's goats, and you can feed the goats by scanning the QR code and paying like $10 Namibian, I think it is, right? And then it opens up and lets the food out, and then the goats eat. Now, why not chickens anymore? Because people fed the chickens so much they died. People killed, they overfed the chickens. So that's why the guy changed the goats, right? And this is a farm somewhere in like Czech Republic. So when people see that, they're like, that's cool. I'm like, oh, you think that's cool? How many of you have family members with farms? Why are you paying for the feed of your animals on your farm when you as a Namibian could do this? And then all of a sudden, huh? Uh-huh, you can do
Oh,
this. And you're like, "Okay, I got you now, bro. Like now we're gonna have fun." And that's the hook. It's like when you show people, and that's why I always tell people like there's a thing. I love Treasure Academy sessions because you of course get to go through what is Bitcoin, how to
yeah.
use Bitcoin, what should you do with the knowledge that you now obtain. But most people I've learned don't learn off of lectures. They don't, especially when they already have work, family, kids.
Yep.
Like you'll get a small percentage that definitely they'll learn that way. But most people will learn off of use cases. Oh, my favorite artist is only releasing the new album, like Eclipse that just dropped yesterday, released, they got sort of out on Wavelake. Do you
Yeah.
understand how the listenership would have been insane? But everybody would have had to go to Wavelake to listen to this. And they could have earned Bitcoin. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, with Spotify, you can still be on Spotify and Wavelake. But you could have
Yep.
done the pre-release on Wavelake and then on release day then Spotify. But everybody could have listened and paid on Wavelake. And this is what artists are understanding. Like the entire game has changed.
Yeah.
Right? Firstly, you don't even need a record deal anymore
Yep.
because you can go direct to consumer. Right? Secondly, most artists don't read contracts. They don't read terms and conditions, right? What, but we have AI. You asking AI to write you emails. Why don't you ask AI to distill what this contract says to you
Yep.
in layman's terms so you understand the
Exactly.
contract? And this is what I
Yep.
don't understand about artists. Like we have tools, but you're still stuck back like we're in 1995 trying to create music that same way, trying to like that's not the world we live in. Right? We are making a hard thing that's not a difficult thing anymore. Like just do it. Like it's easy now.
Yeah. I think it might be hard that like or not hard. It might feel overwhelming
Mm,
to
mm.
be like I can still see a small use case for management in terms of looking after
Oh,
logistics, and like, all the annoying like scheduling and flights and
Yeah.
whatever. I hate that stuff. Like here, scheduling, not my forte, or like
Mm.
posting the details. I can get it's not even management. I would say like an admin person for the artist.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can see a use case for that. Or if you're really preparing and hyped up for a concert or something and you have something with a deadline like a contract, I could see the use
Hmm.
case of having someone, but trust is required. That's the
Correct.
unfortunate thing,
Correct.
And so I could see that, but yeah, that's the only obstacle I could see for an artist, like not jumping in fully and looking at every single like term and condition of the contract.
Hmm.
But you're right though,
Well,
like with all the tools that are
but
available.
also the flashing lights. Like when you go sign a contract, there's champagne bottles,
Yeah.
there's a party happening. Now you don't want to be the person that's the downer. Hey man, I actually wanted to talk about the percentage I'm getting. Nah, you're like, you know what? I will fix it later, man. Let's just sign.
Yeah.
Don't sign the contract, bro. Get your terms the way you want
Yeah.
them, because that would be either a really good party or a really bad party for you. Like truly, there's some really bad deals out there, but it's
Yeah.
because people are like, man, these are my new friends. They're gonna take care of me. Yeah, they're gonna take care of that money.
Of course. Like I heard some of the details of people who were either artists or I don't want to say escorts because I mean, I don't know what the women were doing, but they were
Yeah.
getting
Okay.
paid for attending certain sessions with Diddy. And I'm like,
Hmm.
no judgment. Sometimes in life you do what you need to do and that's what it is. But I'm like 2018, if you had bought, like one or two Bitcoin back then, because they were getting like, tens of thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
and you just sat on it, you did what you needed to do, you could have fully escaped a few years later. Like that's the
Oh,
thing that
definitely.
I think that is lost on so many people, how powerful. So I'm not trying to preach like number go up only, it's only about
Hmm.
a store of value, but still when you're in a very difficult situation, this is a way out. This is a way to be
Yeah.
like, I mean, and if you can't, like, God forgive me for saying this, but if you can't literally say to him, I don't want to do this anymore, you do something like, I don't know, you become unattractive physically to what he likes, kind of thing, and he'll
Mm.
just leave you alone. But like, he'll just discard you. You know what I'm saying? You've got your Bitcoin and you rebuild on the side. Like, there is a way out.
Yeah. I mean, I think people forget that there's life after the now. Right? People are
Yeah.
so in the now that they forget, there's other things I could do. Like I could have a totally different existence. Like, a lot of that also comes from never leaving your hometown or your country. You don't get to experience the rest of the world and know, there's
Yeah.
actually a whole lot out here that we could be doing. And yeah, I think people get trapped in ways like that. And you're correct. Bitcoin, for many people, it starts with how do I get rich? Let's not lie. Most people are not coming to
Yeah. Yeah.
Bitcoin to like,
Definitely.
oh, this is such a great system. They don't know that
Yeah.
yet. They come because they're like, oh, money, I'm going to go rich. Now, for me, that's not how I got into Bitcoin because I had a use case, which was brothers in Dubai need to
Yeah.
get money to him. Western Union is charging me a ridiculous amount for all of
Yeah.
this every time I got to send money. I'm tired. Use case happened for me before, oh, let's try and get rich, right? And I think that's what a lot of people are forgetting about how you create real Bitcoiners. It's use cases. What
Yeah.
is like people ask me, Okin, how do you approach a business to accept Bitcoin? I'm like, I don't. I first ask them questions. Hey, what's wrong? Like, what is your biggest pain point? Do you like paying to rent a point of sale machine from the bank? Now, I've never heard anybody say yes. Right? Not one of them said, yeah, I enjoy paying the bank 3% out of everything that I earn. Like, none of them say yes to that. And I'm like, so that phone that you have in your hand, that's a point of sale machine for Bitcoin, right? What do you
Hmm.
mean? Let me show you. Download any one of these wallets and I'll quickly, what do you have here? Let me buy that for Bitcoin real quick. I'll pay you some Bitcoin. Right now? Yeah, let's go, and I'll show you where you can go spend it. Wait a minute, man, this is so easy. Like everybody was saying it's difficult. I'm like, that's because they were lying to you, bro. They wanted you to
Yeah.
pay them to tell you something.
Yeah.
All this information's for free.
So
So
you
then they start there.
and real life use case, I saw you posted that it's Wolf Shack, right? In Namibia, Wolf
Yeah,
Shack. So not
yeah, I was
only
there
do
yesterday.
they, yeah, not only do they, where you can buy the steak if you recover the wallet with the 21,000 sats, like shameless plug.
Yeah,
Um,
you can you can definitely go to Wolfshack. They'll take your Bitcoin happily with a smile.
so
Or Smoky
you,
Mare, they also sell steaks there.
Smoky
Or
Mirror.
La Leona, which is a Mexican restaurant, owned half owned by the president's son. They
Oh,
also take Bitcoin now. Yeah, man. Like, there's some places. There's a woman that does Pilates classes as well somewhere. I
oh,
didn't show her
really?
Bitcoin. Somebody else did. Yeah, she does Pilates for Bitcoin. There's a couple of people, and then of course architects and like businesses and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just starting to grow.
It's starting to grow. So Wolf Shack, not only do they accept Bitcoin payments, but I think you posted that they also run a node. Is that true?
So they were. I gifted them a node. Yeah, I gifted them a Start Nine Labs node. But yeah, for them it was just too much management with everything. So they were
Yeah.
like, "But we don't really need. Why do we need to run a node?" And I'm like, "You don't have to. You can though. Like I want to show you that. Yeah, we're okay with like doing it this way and just transferring it from the custodial wallet to Blue Wallet and like they were the coolest because they actually I started them on Samurai Wallet, right? And these people are not young. Like I think Jay and Common, I think Jay just turned 50 years old.
They're young at
Yeah, I
heart.
think he's 50. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they're not the youngest, but like, and they were into Bitcoin before I came to them. They bought some and then they sold, and then they were like, "Fuck, we shouldn't have sold." And like, but then I showed them how to earn it, and they were like, "Oh, this is fucking easy. I don't have to buy any Bitcoin." And then their son-in-law was also like, "Hey, I also want to do it at my place." And like, so it starts like that. But like, so with them, they were like, no, they were on Samurai, and then when Samurai got closed down, like literally come and I sent her the videos of how to like move everything over to through Sparrow Wallet and like
Yeah.
be able to recover her funds. She did it all herself, and she was like, I did it. I'm so proud of myself. I'm like, damn, I'm proud of you too, because like shit, I know kids that can't do that shit, and you just did it with no fuss, no frills. So like they understand the self custodialship of everything, and like they don't accept any shit coins. When people come in and they're like, hey, why not Ethereum? They're like, because I have Bitcoin, and why the hell would I gamble with my shit? Go either get Bitcoin or pay cash. What is this?
And Maxi is
That's it.
born
Exactly. I love it.
because I have Bitcoin. So you mentioned the Start Nine node, which
Mhm.
goes into your business because you import. Very nice. That
That's
is
an
so
old
sleek.
one. You don't even get these anymore. They're
Really?
old. Yeah, that's an old one.
I'm
It's a Raspberry Pi one.
I think I'm gonna like bite the bullet and buy the server because I mean, so I start. I'm not going to digress too much, but I started with an old laptop to be able
Yeah,
to run knots so that I
yeah.
can run datum and hook up my bidax.
Mhm.
And a few issues. The laptop's really old, got an external hard drive, like just issues. And then I
Yeah.
found an old Raspberry Pi that I still have to flash the mini SD card. I started doing it. Other
Mhm.
things happened. I have to go back to it. And I've been to the Start Nine website so many times and I'm just like, it's so much easier, Sai. It's like, but
It
then I'm
is.
like, don't cave, do it.
Look, I've done the full DIY setups for a long time. Like
Yeah.
my first node was on a Raspberry Pi. I wouldn't tell people to run a Bitcoin node on a Raspberry Pi anymore. It's just
Yeah.
the problem is to sync up to like 60%. Like, yeah, this is moving fast. Why are people talking about
Yeah.
Raspberry Pis aren't efficient? Yeah, that last 30%, that last 40
Yeah.
to 30% can take you a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month
Yeah.
almost because of all of the ordinals. Remember the ordinals rubbish?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's
do.
all up in there. That also has to be synced. So like it slows down really bad with because of the read write speeds of Raspberry Pis. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely better to still use an old laptop than a Raspberry Pi. But I would say, look, buy the damn server
I
and give
know. I'm
yourself
gonna
peace
do
of
it.
mind. It comes with like lifetime customer support that you can literally just get into the
Yeah.
Matrix chat group and be like, guys, this or that's happening. Like, what's happening with us? Like, you can just come in and have chats with people. Um, yeah, no, it's definitely worth it. The cool thing about buying a server instead of building one is the space allocation, right? So like the
Yeah.
building, you'd need like 4 terabytes for most of the stuff that people want to do, right? because like
Yeah.
you want to run a full Bitcoin node. All right, bet. So it's
Well,
not a it's not a it's not pre, it's not a
pruned.
pruned node. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's not a pruned node, then you gotta have like space, right? Then you want to run ElectRS or Electrum. Okay, cool. Electrum also takes another, how much space. All right, cool. Then you want to do so all of those things that you add on, you need a beefy server. But then again, like that Raspberry Pi, what I would do if I was you, I
Yeah.
would flash the DIY version of like the Raspberry Pi image for Start 9, right? So
Yeah,
for the
that's
Start
what
OS,
that's what I'm
flash that, but don't put Bitcoin on it. Use it for
hmm.
password managers. Use it for like
Oh.
everything else. You can make it a Nostr relay. Do all the stuff that isn't Bitcoin related because then it won't like run like heavily. And then you can have a separate node just for your
Oh.
Bitcoin stuff. People should actually separate the Bitcoin
Yeah.
stuff from the other stuff, right?
Well, so
And
this
also,
thing
yeah.
I'm so happy you're mentioning this because number one, I never thought of having a relay for Nostr. And number
Oh,
two, I am in the midst of figuring out logistically how to set things up. So anything that's personal with respect to the home is like
mhm,
totally not touched. No one like you see what I mean? Like it's totally segregated. What like
yeah.
there's no overlap whatsoever. And
Mhm,
so I'm trying to figure out the best way, like what equipment I should use and the best setup for everything, knowing that my resources are somewhat limited. So, one of the
mhm,
issues with the old laptop, it's a MacBook, is that
mhm.
there's no Ethernet port.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so,
you got one of those. That's not even an old one. Mine is old, old, old. I got Ethernet
with an
cables.
Ethernet,
Let me show you quickly. 1 second. Let me grab this old. This was actually my original laptop. As you can see, it's got all the Machankura and who
oh,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
nice, nice, nice. Oh,
Boom!
yeah, Ethernet.
2012 MacBook Pro. That's an old one.
It's but like if you see the janky setup that I have with the conversion thing and then the Ethernet plug-in and I'm like this is not sustainable. There's no
Yeah,
way this is going to be sustainable whatsoever. Like this
it's
is
like
just
these
awful.
ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just it's
No, I
it's
know
just
what you mean.
messy, it's cluttery. I look at it, it bothers me, but I'm so stubborn and I don't have sufficient time or I don't prioritize the way I would if I weren't a mom. You see what I mean? So it's just
Mhm,
like in my
mhm.
brain, I'm like, what is the optimal setup for all of this stuff? But I like your Nostr
Yeah.
relay suggestion.
Oh, it's
That's
fun
really
to have
good.
your own relay. It's really, I mean, because you can literally see that while you run your own relays, again, nobody can censor you. Like you
Yeah.
have a history of all of your stuff as well. So it's really good. And you can make your relay a paid relay if you wanted to, charge people to utilize your relay, like
Hmm.
if you wanted to. Again, like there's so many
Yeah.
options of
It's a good
things you can
test.
do. Yeah.
So yeah. So where I was going initially with Start 9 is because you import mining equipment as well. How have the
Mhm.
tariffs actually impacted you or your business?
So I don't import Start Nine Labs servers to Namibia. Because again, people can even Start Nine Labs will tell you like they'll be like, look, you can buy the servers from us, or you can buy equipment that's like roughly the same and just do a
Yeah.
DIY if you want to.
Their software,
Um,
yeah.
and that's what I like about Start Nine Labs. They're about sovereign computing. It's not about trying to make the most money out of sovereign computing, but they're really about creating like things that give you back your power, right? And that's why I love the company. Um, but yeah, it's like it's weird, man. um, for imports from China is one thing because I import the miners directly from China, right? Because I was in China, I did my master's in China, and then I just contacted the people that I still knew. Then I was like, hey, can you guys that used to get me computers and phones and stuff? Can you get me like Bitcoin miners? They're like, of course we can. I'm like, bet. That's that we're doing business now, and that's how I would get the miners in. But the tariffs from the U.S. I don't actually have to worry about. My problem is Namibia side customs is also a problem. Like if you try to send me a gift, there's no such thing in Namibia. There's no gift. You will have to send me a commercial invoice, and I will have to pay income tax on that. Not income tax, import tax.
Oh, and what
Yeah.
are the taxes?
That depends on them. They tell you. Like it's not even a thing like we know, oh, you're gonna pay 10%. Nah, bro. Customs will let you know. So wrong.
That is, there's so many things. Here, meat is a big deal because we live really, really close to the French border.
Okay.
And on certain things like meat, and I think cheese as well, the Swiss do whatever they can to protect their industry. I totally
Yeah.
understand. And like as a backstory, just to get a sense of the dynamics, Geneva is so much more expensive than France is. But the
Okay.
minimum wage, like your baseline salary, is a lot higher here compared to France. So there's an
Yeah.
arbitrage, in
Mm-hmm.
play. What people usually do is they'll go
Mm-hmm.
shopping in France, and then is like Swiss people go shopping in France. French people want to work in Switzerland. That's what it is.
Got you.
And
Got
so
you.
when you're crossing the border with Swiss plates, there's so many techniques that people use to not get pulled over, but one of the things they check for at customs is meat. If you
Mm-hmm.
exceed the amount you're allowed to import, you are like, that's it, you're gonna pay.
Wow. Yeah, like, yeah, no, I don't. We used to have like you could take an entire goat, right? Of course, slaughtered, but like a
Yeah, yeah.
goat worth of meat from Namibia to South Africa. Like when I was studying, like when I did my first degree, like one of our roommates, literally, like our housemates, Danny's family used to every month send like either a sheep or a goat up with
Oh
biltong and
wow.
everything. And we had like a barbecue. We
I mean,
partied.
that's
Yeah.
you're the
We got
best friend
real meat.
students ever.
Yeah, like we used to throw some crazy parties when we got that meat. Yeah, good times. But
Yeah,
yeah, we didn't
totally.
have to pay any of those. Like literally, no import tax, nothing to do that from one country to another. It was like that. Now everything's messed up. Everybody
Yeah,
trying to eat.
it used to be free. So
Hmm.
SovereignKey, let's talk about tell me about this project
Hey,
that Mac or Apple users can't use.
correct. So this is the sovereign key. It looks like any other USB. I think this is my tester one, and this one is a 256 gigabyte SSD USB. So the sovereign key, like I was just on GitHub moving around, and I'm like, hey, I have an idea. Like, why do kids in the hood, any country, why do they get robbed a lot? It's because they're walking around with a backpack, and that backpack is a lap. The people will be like, oh, there's probably a
Oh
laptop
yeah.
in there. Let's rob that kid, right? So, like, how do you even donate laptops to a school knowing that those kids are going to become targets because they
Hmm.
have laptops? Like, and the people are hungry, they want to eat, right?
Yeah.
So why do the kids need the laptops? Because it's a computer. They need to do computer work. So what I did was like I was like, okay, Tails OS allows you to run an operating system off of an SD card or a USB. Awesome. Then I found Bales. Bales is Bitcoin on Tails, right? It's a Bitcoin node on a USB that's running Tails. Now, why do I like Tails? Firstly, it used to be one of Edward Snowden's favorite operating systems. Why? Because it has what's called persistent storage. So when you plug a sovereign key into any computer that's not a Mac, you plug it into any computer that's not a Mac, and you boot from the USB. Most computers, you press F12, summit escape, right? You just tap it till the boot menu comes up. You scroll down to
Yeah.
boot from USB instead of hard drive, and then it boots from your sovereign key. Now, the beauty of doing this is, firstly, Tails is an amnesiastic system, right? Operating system, which means once you take out what you like, if you log into Tails without a password, you just say start Tails. It's a clear Tails. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
have any documents or anything stored. But if you open the persistent storage with a password, right, on a sovereign key, now you have access to Bitcoin books, like the easiest Bitcoin book ever written,
That's
the
so
Bitcoin
cool.
Standard, books like that, and like the one Santosh wrote, Bitcoin for Businesses, Zonda's Bitcoin for Kids. Those books are in there. Title Twins video is in there as well, right? So you can
Oh,
show it to
sweet.
kids. But it also comes with, of course, your Bitcoin node. that it also comes with Sparrow wallet, and that Sparrow wallet is
Yes.
attached to that Bitcoin node on your sovereign key. So everything is you that's utilizing it, right?
Yeah.
Comes with things like, of course, because it's Tails, there's password and like managers on there as well. So
That's so
again,
cool.
that whole now you have a computer and all of your Bitcoin stuff in one setting. So now when you say, okay, let's donate to school kids, you're donating this. So how you rob me from a USB? It's in my pocket, bro. You don't know I got a USB. Could be in my
Yeah.
shoe. You don't know. I'm just walking around,
And
no
even if,
bag,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But the plus here is also those kids that don't have, electricity at home, but they can go to a teacher's house. They can go to a library and plug this in to any computer. Even old internet cafes can be revitalized by going to go plug this in.
that's
Now
so
you are
cool.
walking around with your entire computer, your future, your Bitcoin
Yeah.
secret, everything that you are doing, you can now do from your sovereign key. But you can also copy one. So once you buy one sovereign key from me, you never buy another one. You can go and make your own duplicates of your sovereign key. And we show you how.
That is so cool.
So that's why I didn't create it. I'd like to say I'm the innovator because all of these tools existed. Right? It's like what I think Satoshi Nakamoto was. Satoshi was a puzzle master. Everything
Yeah.
that needed to exist for Bitcoin
Existed. Yep.
existed. He
Yep.
didn't create anything new.
Yep.
He put them together in a fashion that nobody else saw before. And that's why we have Bitcoin. He was a puzzle master. So along
Yep.
that same vein, we have free and open source software. Bales was by Ben Westgate, free and open source software. You put it out on GitHub, right? Sparrow Wallet, free and open source software, right?
Yep.
Tails, free and open source software. All I did was say, hey, let's bring this together
Put
as a
it
digital
together.
Swiss Army knife and let's run with it.
Yeah.
And
That is
that's it.
so dope. So, I've gotten this feedback before, and I want to put it out there to you to see how you respond, which
Mhm.
is if Bitcoin is so great and if you can, accumulate wealth, generational wealth with time,
Mhm.
why do Bitcoin enthusiasts speak about it so much and want to get other people to use it? The thought
Okay.
behind it being like, if it's so great, you'll just want it for yourself as a secret and let other
Yeah.
people suffer.
I, I, I've been asked that question a lot of times. And I always have the same answer because it's the truth. I personally, okay, I never want to be the person that people look to pay for their things. So if we're
Mm.
sitting at a table, I don't want to pay for your plate. I will teach you how
What do
to
you
pay for
mean?
your
I'm a
plate.
nice person.
Nah, bro. I'm gonna show you how to pay for your own plate. I'm gonna teach you how to earn so you can pay for your
Yeah.
plate. So you don't come to me asking me to pay for your meal. Now we're still gonna sit and eat at the same table, but you're gonna pay for your plate. I'm gonna pay for my plate. Everybody's gonna pay for their plate. What that does is now we are all equals. I am not the king. I am not your boss. You are not my child. You are not a little person that needs to run after me to make me feel better. Right now, we are standing as grown humans to each other. My thing is that simple. That's why I teach people about Bitcoin. That's why I talk about it. Because I don't want you later on to say, but you know, Okin, man, you have Bitcoin, so give me some. No, bro. I told you how to get Bitcoin. Why didn't you get your own? I'm not giving you any of mine. That. And that's it.
What you
I'm
said
being
right
selfish.
there.
I'm teaching because I'm being selfish. I don't want to give you Bitcoin. I don't want to pay. I'll teach you how to do it yourself. Buy your own food, bro. So that's the only
So
things I want. Don't come for me.
let me run this scenario by you, and I want to see how you respond. You've known someone for a long time,
Mhm.
even before Bitcoin. You, over the years, you've spoken to them about Bitcoin. They say they're not really interested in the technical stuff. You say, look, I see that, you say that you're having certain issues with money or you're worried about your future. How about here's an easy way. All you have to do is save a little bit with time, and you'll see
Yep.
that, things will probably be better. And what does saving mean?
Mhm.
It means that instead of, I don't know, buying that extra like outfit for the month, or instead of getting your nails done, you say, I still want the outfit, I won't get my nails done, I'll save with Bitcoin with that, or vice versa, whatever. You just give up
Mhm.
something like superficial, and you'll see that
Mhm.
things are cool with time. The person's like, yeah, maybe, yeah, no. And then they go back talking about whatever issues they have, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward, we'll say 7 years. And the person comes to you and says, I'm really having problems. Can you help me financially? What do you do?
What do you mean? Nobody comes to me to ask them. I ain't helping nobody financially. What is wrong with you? What? No. Legit, right now. My own family members don't come to me asking me for money. I'm like, that guy, not, no, don't ask Nico. He's not going to give you nothing, bro. No, not that guy. Why would I give you money? We all hustling. Now, will I try and help you out to say, okay, what are your skills? Let's get you a job. Let's get you paid, my brother. For my sister, we can do that. I can help you that way, but I'm not parting with my hard-earned cash just so that you can go and waste the money. That doesn't make sense. Like, and that's not even because you didn't accept Bitcoin could have saved you. No, that's
Mm-hmm.
not the point here. The point is, it's like, this is the thing I like about Trump. Trump made all Africans look at their leaders and be like, why are you asking those people for money? Stop it. Stop asking them for money. Let's work on our shit. That's what I like about Trump. He made it that Africans had to be like, bro, stop
He
asking for
lifted the
aid.
veil.
If the aid dies, then all of these things die. That means those things shouldn't have existed. How do we build from self? That's what
Mm-hmm.
I think we should be doing. And in that way, if I'm just giving you money, I'm just giving you aid. When I cut it off, how do you live? How do you still survive? You're still going to be in that same situation. So that doesn't help you giving you money. Teaching you how to earn money, teaching you how to save money, that can help you. Yeah.
And if
And
you
I'm not
don't want
even
to
the best at
learn,
saving money.
then
I can't help you, bro. What must I do?
yeah,
I can't help you. I've tried
yeah,
more than once. But giving you money, that's not going to save anybody. It's literally like giving a man a fish. He's going to come to you every day to come
yeah.
get a fish because he doesn't know how to fish. You didn't teach him how to fish.
I feel
And I'm
like
not just
that's,
here to fish for other people.
I don't know. Okay, so so Bitcoin, in my opinion, really does transcend um, borders, languages,
Hmm.
cultures, skin color,
Yeah,
whatever. I find that
yeah.
people who tend to be Bitcoin only have the same mindset with respect to figuring things out, utilizing your skills. I don't want to say looking for handouts because I don't want to come across as being judgy, but we seem to have that thing for whatever reason in us where we're like, we need to figure this out. We need to be able
Yeah.
to save and be independent so that if this happens, like we can just like, do what we need to do. And
Mm.
I don't know, like psychologically, if some people feel as though it's more loving and caring to just have someone give you things as opposed to having someone teach you how to do things.
Yeah, I think that would boil down to like how you were raised, like
Yeah.
your engagements with people over the years. Like some people were given everything on a silver platter. It's just
Yeah.
what it is. They were given all of their lives. Whether it's pretty privilege, whether it's because your parents are whoever or whatever. Some
Yeah.
people legit they've never struggled in their life. They don't even understand the word. And then one
Boom.
day, some and they're like, "What the fuck is this? Like, how do I? This is what you guys have been going through in life. How have you lived like this?" And they have no clue what to do. I have
Yeah.
absolutely no clue what to do. The rest of us are like, "Yo, bro, like we know
Welcome.
how to get it out the mud. We gonna make some plans out here, right? I can cook. I can do some drawings. I can sell a poem. We gonna get some money in some way.
Yeah.
But if you've always given something and people try to tell you, okay, it's time to work, you're gonna feel like people are being unfair to you. You're like, why,
Yeah.
why, why are you being unfair to me? Why would you just give it to me? Like everybody normally gives it. No, bro, that's not how
That's what
life
it
works.
is. That's
That's the
probably
problem,
what
and
it
that's the
is.
psychological thing that I think for a lot of people they're not willing to actually even like engage with it. Like, wow, nah, 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 I'm not. That's real life. I'm not trying to live like that.
Ooh.
And Bitcoin forces you to be like, yo, you don't get any like the only things that you get for free in Bitcoin is when people are trying to orange for you. Like, hey, let me send you a few sats so that. But everything else, you gotta pay attention. You gotta
Yeah.
like go to a course. You gotta engage. There is proof of work to some
Yeah.
degree. Otherwise, you're not getting that Bitcoin.
Yeah, definitely. And even like I find that the level of education, technical education that's available is not free because as you said, you do have to spend the time and you do have to test things
Yeah.
out for yourself. But having access to that education without paying money, to me, is quite
Yeah.
remarkable. I've paid for
Yeah.
courses. I mean, I went to business school, and I'm like, some of the things were useful, but nothing compared to what I've learned in the
Correct.
Bitcoin space. Absolutely nothing, because we
Correct.
never spoke about the monetary system. You speak
Hmm.
about, what is your cost of capital, your investors, what's their
There
cost of
you go.
capital, what's the hurdle rate, whatever. But no one explains to you that the whole system is expanding. And so in
Hmm.
order to actually be profitable, you need to not target, I don't know, 7% or 10%. You need to really go above and beyond that for like long lasting, sustainability.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people like, and it's also a thing of Bitcoiners saying it the wrong way. They're like, degrees don't matter. No, degrees still matter because there's information that
Yeah.
comes with that degree, right? You went to go
Yeah.
study for a reason. But I will say, like, I agree with you. Like, Bitcoin, just studying Bitcoin over the years has taught me more than anything I learned in my MBA, like hands down, like without a doubt. That
Yeah.
this because the thing is, it's not just the technical side, right? It's also about understanding human
Yeah.
nature, right?
Yeah.
And that's why incentives matter, because incentives is what drives human nature. Like, what I people are like, yeah, you don't always have to get something out of it. What are you talking about? I woke up this morning, I'm hungry, I gotta eat to get food, I need to do something. What is this just sitting around and doing nothing? That doesn't do anything for anybody, right? So like incentives. The incentives is my stomach needs to be full, bro. I must go
Mm-hmm.
and get a way to get that food. So all of this is, I say it to say that Bitcoin teaches you that incentives matter.
Yeah.
Literally, it teaches you that if if somebody is giving you for free, there is no free. Firstly, so you're paying something. Either it's
Yeah.
you're paying with your data, you're paying with
Yeah.
your attention,
Yeah.
whatever it is, you are paying. Right? It's just not a monetary payment that you can see, because
Mm-hmm.
most people still don't understand it until today. Your data is digital oil. You
Yeah.
are giving it away to people that are monetizing that digital oil,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you don't know how to monetize that digital oil and you just think it's all fun and games, right? But once you start going on something like Noster, and you're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? I can get paid for the pictures that I normally put on Instagram, just putting them up here so people can see them. Write a little poem, put
Yeah.
up a song, any of these things, have a an intellectual debate, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden Jack Dorsey sending you money. Like, come on now. Like this is where I'm like, how are you people not trying to build Noster better? Because this literally changes lives.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like Bitcoin, but in communication.
My daughter,
Love it.
what did she, a few months ago or a few weeks ago, because she's learning how to read and write. And
Okay.
she said, Mamo, like, mommy, can I write something on social media? 'Cause she sees me all the time. So I said, you can write something on Noster. And I think it was about her rabbit, J'ai mon lapin, or something like that. And so the task for her was to identify the
Hmm.
letters on the keyboard and just like type everything by herself, which she did very
Hmm.
well. Posted on
Hmm. Hmm.
Noster, and she got zapped 21 sats the first time, and then another
Nice.
21 sats, so 42. And I said, look at that. Her first post on social media, and she's already getting paid for it. And she's like, she's 5.
And the whole thing is, it's not even that you'll get paid all the time. It's the fact is
Yeah.
there's an option to pay you.
Yeah,
Like, if I
exactly.
want to pay you, I can. Like, I might just like the post and not pay you, but I
Yeah.
can pay you.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that allows that out there. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
I think, when people realize what Nostr is, when they really realize. And again, it's not going to come from us sitting on Twitter or on Nostr itself and having the conversation,
Yeah.
because the people that we're trying to get onto these things aren't there. And this is also the thing with, like, I always tell people, I love Bitcoin conferences, right? I get to go see my Bitcoin
Yeah.
peoples. We get to be around dope convos, but Bitcoin conferences are not for normies,
No, they're not.
right?
Yeah.
So they don't help orange pill people. Like, it's for
Yeah.
people that are already in Bitcoin, right? That's why like, we need things like what I'm trying to do with alternative sports, right? Where I'll give you an example: pool, right? How many pool tables are there around? Maybe even in your neighborhood, right? If there's a bar, there's a
Hmm.
pool table,
Yeah.
right?
That's a good
So
question.
this is the whole world. Around the world, even if you're in a township, you will find a pool table.
Yeah, for
So
real.
it is technically one of the most played sports, alternative sports, because you don't have to be an athlete. There was a guy at Wolf Shack yesterday in a wheelchair whooping ass on the pool table. Right now, my whole thing is like what I'm starting up is okay. Let's do alternative sports, and we do tournaments, but your entry fee gotta be Bitcoin, and your prize money is Bitcoin. Now, how do you enter with Bitcoin? If you okay, cool. Wherever you are signing up, there will be a representative there. Bring them the cash. They'll give you the Bitcoin. Then you pay your registration fee. Now
Mhm.
you already have a wallet. The point here is to get you that wallet. Hopefully a Nostr wallet like Primal or something. So that while we're doing the tournaments, now people can also be like, hey, let's help that guy get a couple of bucks so that he can get a cab to the next tournament. Or let's help this
Yeah.
person actually travel to the championships that are happening in another country. Right?
Yep.
Now Bitcoin becomes a use case. Also, when you win your prize money at the place, we'll buy the Bitcoin from you. If you don't want the Bitcoin, we'll give you your cash. But now you're starting to understand the usability of Bitcoin, not the theory. The
Yeah,
theory is always going to be
exactly.
there, but how do you actually use this thing? And that's where we actually get the no coiners to start saying, well, but this coin thing, but I can actually
Yeah.
do this. Like, let's do this thing.
Yeah, that's also one of the things. Like when I was sitting down to figure out, a different way to podcast, where the viewers can actually get something. I really thought about how to make it interactive. So when Orange Manufacturing Group sent me like the keychain, this is so my daughter. I got a keychain, so she had to make me another keychain so that she didn't forget that
Yeah.
she is like number one. But like doing the keychain zap just so people can actually
Ah.
see,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
if they have a lightning wallet, they can actually like hold it up to the QR code just to see what happens.
Yeah.
If they want to zap, they can. But yeah,
Yeah.
but like cashew, I was like, this is pretty cool, with this little
Mhm.
mint, someone can actually zap it for watching
Yeah.
wherever they are in the world, and like they can get 2100 sats. Like, so I keep thinking of interactive ideas, and I think it's the way
Mhm.
forward. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be awkward initially and stuff, but we'll figure it out. And that is really the way forward. You can, like,
Yep.
in Namibia, anyone, I'm in Switzerland, you're in Namibia, you find the seed phrase, 21,000 sats, yours. No,
That's it.
no, no banking fees, no nothing. It's yours.
Yep. Just like that. And that's the beauty of it, what people don't understand. Like, imagine trying to monetize something via the old rails. Like, bank accounts. Like once the money comes in, you gotta go explain to the bank why the money was sent to you, all of these
Yeah.
things, so that they can actually release your funds. From the other side, that person has to go tell their bank why they want to pay somebody in Africa. Like, hey, are you sure this isn't a scam? Like all of that, you have
Yep.
to spend probably a day going through that admin.
Mm-hmm.
I just sent you that 20 seconds ago and you got it. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are we playing this game? And that's again, use cases. We have to show people how it is utilized, not just tell them because they're like, ah, whatever, man. That sounds like Ethereum. Well, if you just give them theory, they're gonna think it's just Ethereum, right? They don't
Yeah.
know any better.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing.
That is so true. Well, Okin, it's always nice catching up with you. I like I said it before when we were like going through our technical difficulties. I feel like I've
Yeah.
known you for my whole life. Like you could have gone to my high school.
Oh, I had hair in high school. I had an afro. I miss my afro.
If you Oh, speaking of Afro, I saw the video you posted of your dad speaking
Oh yeah.
way back when, which is totally dope.
Uh,
If it's okay,
yeah.
I'll insert it in this
Yeah, that's
episode so
cool.
that people can see it.
Awesome. Yeah, that was I think 1987 or 1988, somewhere around there. That was while they were trying to free Namibia from apartheid rule of South Africa. Yeah, I was when I saw that video the first time, I was like, man, my dad has my cadence, so I have his. And it was like pretty cool. Yeah, he was. I mean, he was an orator. He was used to write speeches, give like talks. Um, it was a freedom fighter basically. My mom and my dad were both freedom fighters. So yeah, that's probably where I get the whole freedom for everybody thing from.
Yeah, most definitely. And oh my God, I forgot. Okay, last thing before we wrap it up. You
Mhm.
traveled to, was it Prague
Yeah,
or
last year,
last year with
to
the
Prague last year.
Trezor Academy, right?
Well, I don't actually know who decided to bring me in. It was Trezor Academy, Trezor, and Vixel. They were all like, bring Okin here. we need him to shoot content and stuff. And I was like, bet. So like I was there for like a week. We shot the Treasure Academy videos, the summaries that are now on YouTube. You can go to the Treasure Academy YouTube channel and you'll see my beautiful face there.
I'll add a
So
link.
standing next
Yeah.
to Joseph. And yeah, we did the 3 sessions there. And then right afterwards, myself and Joseph recorded like a 2-hour podcast. Then we went out for drinks. The next day, we shot the Treasure itself commercial. And then, yeah, and then we were just chilling. It was fun. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Like, I like Prague. Like, that's one place I can actually go live. I'm not joking. That place is awesome.
I've never been to
So,
Prague.
you should go. It's like, I was so amazed. Like, people are walking around at midnight because it's that safe. Like, just in the
Because it's
middle of the
what?
streets, it's safe as hell. It's really,
Mm.
really safe. And I was like, man, this is like, also, it's weird. People like have weird animals as pets. I think there was a guy that had like a fox or something. It was like so weird. And like Leia was telling me about her uncle that had a bear, and I was like, "What? A fucking bear?
Smoky.
That's so weird. I used to have a bear as a pet, but yeah, says the African."
Very nice. Well, so the next time you go, perhaps give me a heads up. I say this, but you never know. Maybe I could meet up for a day or two or something and come back. That's the thing about
Awesome.
Europe that's pretty cool. Like traveling
Mm.
around is relatively easy and you can find cheap tickets, so it's not so hard.
Yeah, no. Unlike Africa, where it's ridiculous, it's cheaper to fly to Europe than to fly around in Africa. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is a
Like
thing.
literally,
I
my
mean,
plane ticket to go to the African Bitcoin conference last year in Nairobi was 20,000 Namibian dollars. My plane ticket to go to Prague last year was 20,000 Namibian dollars.
yeah,
That's just crazy. Like Nairobi's on the same continent as me. I don't even have to leave the
yeah.
continent. So yeah,
It is a big continent. Like, I mean, but still, the distance, I think, hold on, not that
yeah,
great.
it's huge.
The
But to get
distance
to
between
Prague, I need to go past the whole continent though still. That's why it shouldn't be more expensive to
yeah,
like stop over in Kenya. But yeah,
yeah,
it's very
definitely.
weird. So yeah, Europe definitely won with that one. I'll be in Prague probably in October again, I think.
You didn't go to the conference, did you?
No,
Recently.
I didn't apply in time. I forgot to apply in time. I need to apply in time because everybody
What do you
wants to
mean
go.
apply? Like apply for your
To
visa
be a
or
speaker.
apply
No, to
to
be a
be a
speaker.
speaker? Ah,
You got
I
to apply
never
in
think to
time because
do that.
everybody wants to go to Prague. What? You should always apply to be a speaker somewhere.
So
Or even
what
a
would
media partner.
thank you. Nostra Relay media partner. I never think of that.
Yeah, apply to all of the ones in Africa that you can. It's always good to come to the continent and see for yourself how adoption and how a medium of exchange of Bitcoin really works. Because yeah, we're using Bitcoin. We're not just saving it. We're actually using it. Because a
Yeah,
lot of us are like me. I get paid in Bitcoin. I have to use it.
yeah. And the Tando app, I need to get
Ooh, Tandem's so
Sabrina
good.
back on. She's like, they're doing so well.
Man, I spent a lot of Bitcoin in Kenya because of those people. I was just buying drinks. I was partying. I was enjoying because everywhere I could just spend my Bitcoin. I don't have to
Yeah,
think about bank costs and charges and where's my wallet. I don't even use my wallet. It
yeah.
was great. So good.
So cool. Okin, tell people where they can find you.
All right. So I am Okin, OKIN _1717. That's everywhere. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter with the same handle. On LinkedIn, my actual name, Nikolai Tjongarero. And on Nostr, you can find me, I think, under Okin. Okin at nostrplebs.com is my Nostr username, handle thingy or whatever. Because that NPub is long as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you can find me on those social media networks, and hopefully on a stage near you sometime, wherever
Yeah.
you're having I don't know, podcast, conference. I might just show up and you might see me there.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Okin. Always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great. It was fun.
Keys. Yeah. Man like Quates. Man like who? Yeah. Takes her Bitcoin off exchanges under self-custody. She runs her own node, providing liquidity. Yeah, she got her own keys. She got her own keys. She got her own keys. Yeah, she got her own keys. 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 Yeah, she got her own keys.